Good morning, everyone. This is it. It is Sunday morning, 5:20. I'm at the gas station here, just getting everything checked, making sure I'm good to go. And we are all green across the board. So, let's begin. This is so exciting. I'm trying to not get ahead of myself. We've got a long day on the interstate today, and it's going to be a warm day, possibly even some monsoon rains that we'll have to contend with. But that is all part of the journey, my friends. I already almost set off my airbag. I'm not used to the tether, so that is something I'm gonna certainly have to get used to over these next couple of weeks. But thankfully I've got it loose enough where it doesn't pull too hard when I step off the bike. And that was it. We are getting up on the highway right now, and I will say the bike is definitely heavy, but it doesn't feel weird. Too weird anyway. We'll see how it feels once we get up to interstate speeds, if it starts wobbling funny or anything, but so far so good. We've just pulled up onto the interstate highway here, I-40 in Flagstaff, and we are on this road all day. All day we're gonna just be riding interstate. So this is definitely a baptism by fire here. A real test of our mental endurance, but I gotta be honest with you all, I'm a little bit in disbelief that this is actually happening, and I know the excitement and the novelty is gonna wear off pretty quickly, but I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. Woohoo! Here we are! Look at us! Riding across the high open desert of eastern Arizona. We're crushing! We're like 150 miles into our ride already. We're less than 50 from the New Mexico border, and I gotta tell you, I am stoked, baby. Like, my stoke level is like pinging off the charts. You know, all that planning, all those logistics, all that waiting, and here we are. We're doing it. Day one. On our first staging ride, setting ourselves up, moving across the country, getting ready to make our way to Kansas. Get a look at this, New Mexico. Hot damn. Haha, land of enchantment, baby. Woohoo. Already 170 miles in the bank. And as you can see, I've got the cruise control going, and as I said, it sort of hovers around 78, 79 when it's set to 81. I don't know why it does that. I don't know why it never actually gets up to 81. It's a little annoying, but at 78, the bike is going about 76 actual miles per hour. So what that all means is the bike tops out effectively at about 76 miles per hour on cruise control. Somewhere in between going to Best Buy and getting gas, I set my sunglasses down, and I have no idea what happened to them. I got about 2 miles down the road and realized that I was squinting and went, ah crap, where are my sunglasses? And I have no memory of where I put them. So I probably just like draped them on something and then took off, and they just like blew away. I did go back to the gas station to see if I left them like up on top of the pump, and I didn't. I probably should have also checked Best Buy to see if they like fell off in the parking lot, but I just was kind of frustrated and annoyed that I just said screw it and left. So an interesting thought just popped into my mind that I thought I would share with all of you, and that is that one of the motivations I had for this ride, other than just the pure adventure and the challenge,
was a sort of homage to my dad. When I was 16, my dad taught me how to ride a motorcycle. One of the things that my dad and I talked about all those years ago when he was training me how to ride, and I had my learner's permit, and we would go on little rides around upstate New York together. So he said, you know, someday, son, years from now when I'm retired and you're much older and we've both been riding for decades, I think it'd be really fun to do a Zen in the art of motorcycle maintenance and, you know, ride across the country together once I'm retired. And I always remember that. I don't know if he was joking or if he was fully serious. I like to think that he was serious. Somewhere deep down, he thought it would be a cool idea to ride across the country with his son. And so that is a really big reason why I wanted to do this ride. Because he's no longer with us, he's no longer here, and I never got to do that ride with him. One of the things that I hope will keep me motivated on this Odyssey, on those moments when I'm frustrated, or when I'm tired, or when my back hurts, or whatever, is thinking that maybe he's sitting there on his Kawasaki Vulcan, right there in my rear view mirror, following along. Anyway, as you can see, not a whole lot in this vast eastern expanse of New Mexico. A lot of little mesquite shrubs and junipers and grasslands, but we are cruising along at decent elevation. We're still at about 6,000 feet. I do say it is definitely starting to look a whole lot like northern Texas up in here. There we go. Welcome to Texas. Oh, good stuff. Yeah, so 75 miles or so left until we park it for the night, and we'll give the bike a full once over, make sure everything looks good after our first long day. Free steak dinner if you can eat a 72-ounce steak in under an hour. Let's do the math there. 16 ounces to a pound. So that's 4.5 pounds? 4.5 pounds of steak in 60 minutes. Oh, the thought of that makes me retch. Oh. What do you say? Should we give it a whirl? Look at all the wind turbines. They're everywhere. So much power generation from wind in this part of Texas. Look at that, 33 miles. And we got 51 miles on our fuel. Cutting it a little close. It'll be all right. Well, hello there everyone, and welcome to my wonderful hotel room here off of I-40 in Amarillo, Texas, where I've already killed 2 roaches and chased off some sort of ridiculous mutant cricket of some kind. So, not the best establishment, but I've definitely stayed in worse. As you saw, it was a rather interesting day. Highway-wise and route-wise, it was as straight and narrow as can be. I got on I-40 this morning at mile 2, and other than my gas exits, I followed I-40 the entire day, all 630 miles. So not a lot of variability when it comes to roads. Now, while I was in Albuquerque, I did have to stop and run some errands. I learned throughout the day that there was some things that I needed to tweak or some things that I forgot. Most importantly, I forgot my hard drive, which really aggravates me now because I had like a 4 terabyte drive that was all cleaned and ready to go. And hard drives now are so expensive. But yeah, otherwise, as far as the bike is concerned, I think I've sort of figured out my routine a little bit, and I've reacquainted myself to where everything is on the bike. I spent some time out in the parking lot tonight, adjusting the highway pegs a little bit so that they're a little closer. I think right now I'm pretty content with the bike. Heading out tomorrow through Oklahoma City, and on towards Baxter Springs, where we'll officially start our journey. I know today's video clips weren't overly riveting, but we're easing into it. So as things progress, I expect the narrative and the story will progress as well.
All right, well, we're getting suited up here this morning on the second of our 2 staging rides. Today we're gonna zip over into Oklahoma, spend most of our day there. We'll make a stop in Oklahoma City. Got to stop at a couple stores there, and then we'll start contouring our way up towards the Kansas border so that we can end the night in Baxter Springs. Let us start our second day here. And just like that, we are back up on Interstate 40. We will again be on this road for quite some time today, but that's all right. So it occurs to me that this is my first real experience riding across the Great Plains of this country. I mean, other than a little bit of riding in eastern Colorado, this is really my first taste of it. What a cool time of day to be getting my first experience. I mean, we're getting this big sky, faint glow of sunrise way off in the distance. We've got some big city way off to my 9 o'clock over there. I don't know what that is. And then off to my right is this almost spooky repeating red lights blinking on and off of this line of wind turbines. And you can really only make out their silhouettes. So it's like this almost like steampunk apocalyptic machines just whirring away in the background. It's very cool. I don't know how to describe it, but it's a little unsettling. Man, there ain't a goddamn soul out on this interstate this morning. That's very strange to be on a major US highway and have essentially no traffic. Here comes one car on the other side. There's nothing though. Ain't nobody out here in eastern panhandle of Texas at 7 a.m. on a Monday morning, apparently. Good morning, Oklahoma. How are you now? I don't know why I said that like I'm a cast member on Letterkenny, but there you go. Oklahoma, new state, new day. Feeling pretty good. Oklahoma, where the winds go sweeping down the plains. $3 gallons. Not too shabby. Wow, where do we find ourselves this fine early afternoon? I can tell ya, we find ourselves in Pawnee Nation in rural Oklahoma. We are pretty far out in the middle of nowhere. We left the interstate back there and went through the little town of Cushing, and then Google routed us this way, I think to avoid tolls. So it's a nice change of pace for sure, but it was a pretty stark change almost immediately. Like as soon as we got off the interstate, it was like, we're out in the sticks, man. Here we are. Welcome to the great state of Kansas. Haha! There's the sign right there. Fantastic. Whoa, that is some serious water. Wow. That's a lot of flooding. My goodness. I had no idea there was flooding going on in this area. Interesting. It would appear that they got quite a bit of rain, and a lot of the surrounding vegetation is all flooded. Back there was a park that was completely underwater. So yeah, this area has been hit pretty hard with some rains and some flooding.
Here we are. We've made it to our Airbnb in Baxter Springs. I just got off the live stream and I gotta tell you, it feels a little weird to be here because I feel like I know this place so well just from all the times I checked on it on the internet, and yet now I'm standing in it. So it's just really weird to finally like be here in person. But it's a cool little place. A little kitchen area here and a little desk. Nice couch, and then you go this way and there's a cool fun loft up here with a bed, and then the primary bedroom is in the back. There is a house across the street, but this little alley here is just this gravel road, and it's just tucked away, all quiet here. So it's really cool. We've got a big first day tomorrow. I want to get a good early jump start and knock those first 200 miles out as quickly and as early as possible so that we have a more manageable rest of the day. So it'd be awesome if I could start by 3 a.m., but it's probably going to be more like 3:30 or 4. So there you go. That's the day. I'm looking forward to the start. The anticipation is real. I feel like I'm going to have a hard time sleeping tonight. So I need to just eat, take a warm shower, and hopefully I can get 5 or 6 hours of sleep. All right. Take care, everyone. I'll see you in the next video, day 1. Bye.